What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. My name is DFree. Here today, we are going to be talking about a couple of things. First and foremost, we are going to be deciphering what the man Team Dokkaner is talking about here over on Twitter. He is talking about a potential new banner. He's teasing it, so we'll see what happens with that, and we'll go from there. But also, we're going to talk about the Goku Black EZA that is coming out on the Japanese version. So collectively, there hasn't been any news really about, and again, this could change in the morning, next couple of days, as we actually get to Goku Day and stuff like that. But there hasn't really been any news as far as JP is concerned with their banners and just with the LR in general. We've seen that stuff trickle over to Global. It was said by Dokkaner that Global would be getting that information earlier and the banner sooner. So keep that in mind. Global should be getting that stuff, I believe, tonight, in fact. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of days as far as JP is concerned. Currently, if you guys are waiting on me to do a showcase, actually, on a side note, Hydra's asleep, so we're not doing that. But we'll also wait till we get JP anyway. It'll just be easier. We have access to some more stuff. So anyways, that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at it. So Team Dokkaner says, those who have the easy trigger on the sweaters do not crack all of your Pell. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure some of you guys that are speak French, can tell me on the portal. He's basically saying the guys that kind of can't control themselves, just don't spend all your stones on this banner, basically. You must be aware when an LR opens from the beginning of a celebration, he's saying that this is the beginning of the celebration of sorts, and they're already throwing an LR out there. And long story short, he's basically hinting at either another banner or something else to consider using stones on, like another LR banner or a festival banner. Don't know. But keep that in mind. Yannick here, who actually this guy pop up a lot. He's in my mentions and stuff like that. Shout out, man. Anyways, he says, anything to do with this, with that sly face. And then there was a post here over on the Reddit, which shout out to the Reddit, talking about the global database update. So as you guys know, Renzi, well, you might or might not know, Renzi actually has an automated tweet that goes out every time global or JP gets updated. And in this one, there was some peculiar information. So I was looking at the global database update that Renzi posted on DBZ Space's Twitter, and there seems to be another active skill besides the Gohan and Goten LR one that is named Kakarot and has a description of Ki plus 24 and attack plus 48% for one turn. Get out. Can be activated after transformation once only. So given the name and the description of it, plus 24 Ki, could this possibly hint at a new LR BROLY? Link to the post is here. I don't know if it really would lead to a BROLY specifically. I mean, I guess it would make sense. I think the most telling thing is that he's saying Kakarot, right? Which, obviously, BROLY. But let's go ahead and come over here and take a look here. So this is exactly what he's talking about. Again, this is a whole lot of, like, if you don't really look at this, it just looks like nothing, right? But really what this is telling you is exactly what got added to the game in the data download, basically. So right here, I'm going to have to zoom in a bit so you guys can see a little better for you mobile guys. The red text. Follow me on the red text. So it says Family Kamehameha, and it lists off their the name of the attack, or the active skill, excuse me, and then the active skill conditions. Massively raises attack temporarily and causes ultimate damage to the enemy. Can be activated when HP is 59% or less, and when facing only one enemy starting from the third turn of the battle once only. So, by the way, on a side note, I did a breakdown for the units. The active skill info, I mean, it was here. I didn't think to look here, but I didn't see it anywhere else, so I couldn't include that in the video. Just my thoughts on this active skill while we're on the subject. I think it's heavily restricted, but the massive attack raise should make up for it, but still heavily restricted. 59% or less is just not conducive to having LR cards and good teams and stuff like that, so it'll be a little bit hard. But again, we'll see how they handle it in harder content, so keep that in mind. And when facing only one enemy, by the way, from the third start of the battle, the third turn from the start of battle is fine. When facing only one enemy is generally pretty good, unless it's against said harder content. In most cases, you're facing at least two, so it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But there is a notice for another active skill, Kakarot. There it is, Kakarot. Ki plus 24 and attack plus 48% for one turn. Can be activated after transformation. Once only. So for one, on a side note, we're getting this can be activated after transformation. that text there seems to imply we're getting another transformation into active skill unit, just like the ones that are on JP now. And this is a global database, by the way, but that doesn't mean that this isn't coming to JP. But nonetheless, it does appear that we're getting stuff like that. And this is where things get a little tricky because, like, on a side note, Global always kind of gets access to some of this stuff a little bit sooner because of the fact that they do the Global and JP celebrations at the same time for a lot of stuff now. It seems that they do it a lot, seemingly. So, like, if that is the case, transformation into active skill won't actually be introduced with Trunks and Zamasu. You know, Goku's family isn't really being introduced with the LR Goku, albeit, you know, the pixel units. But regardless, you know, it's coming out with the LR Kamehameha stuff. So, like, Global's in a weird position because of stuff like that. It's not a bad thing in particular, just food for thought. But Ki +4 and attack +48%, I don't... What is this, bro? This is like the most broken active skill. This unit has to be complete trash. Because I don't understand this. For one, why would it get 24 Ki? 24 is the full Ki multiplier. I get it. Which implies LR, unless they're going to let it go over, like Kel and Khalifa did unintentionally. I don't know what they're doing. It implies LR. Kakarot implies Broly. And of course, with it being relative to the family Kamehameha stuff, I think it's a good chance it's a Broly, actually. But, like, I don't get this. It doesn't have to be trash. Ki +24 is negligible. This doesn't really matter a whole lot if the unit itself is good, which hopefully it is, and has general stuff that allows for it to be competitive, right? I'm just hoping it's a free unit at this point. I don't want to have to summon for two LRs like back to back like that. I don't want to have to do that. And then especially on Global, because just in a couple of months you're going to transition into another double LR type deal. So yeah, this number throws me off, but it's not a huge deal, especially when you look at the movie Broly, Dragon Ball Super Broly, and how he gets an abundance of Ki for seemingly no real reason. But 48%, this could either be something that's crazy good, or depending on the unit and what his natural passive is, it just winds up being kind of middling and kind of fills in the gap. Because, like, for example, if he gets 100%, you know, and then he gets 48%, that's pretty good. But if he starts off at freaking 52 or something weird like that, and then it evens out to 100. I don't know if it'd get calculated that way, but it's still not going to be as good as if he were to start off from a higher value. So that's kind of what we're dealing with here. So let me know what you guys think. What do you think? Let me know what you guys' prediction is for the card, the passive. That'll be some interesting stuff. We'll see. That man's Renzi's face over there. We're going to move on, though. The EZA. So, new Limit Z Awakening character ahead introduction. Coming soon, the Extreme Z Awakening of Goku Black is possible. When you go to the Extreme Z Awakening, leader skill and passive skills, special moves are strengthened. Pay attention to the new Limit Z battle that will be held. So 3 Ki and 120. That should be for general physical type units. I'm pretty sure that the Frieza just got tech. So that's really good, actually. You know, it's funny when you look at the EZAs for these units. Now, the 120s, I'm really curious to see what they'll become at this point, because for all intents and purposes, this is the 120 leader, but better now, because there's no disparity between hero and villains. Like, you know, the SS3 Goku tech type, for example, he had the predominant super tech type leader skill, right? I feel like they'll kind of stay the same. Might even jump to being 150, but like predominant to super and extreme. And extreme, this secondary boost will be good. But this is like that same leader skill. And for now, you might as well run this unit as your leader. Unless you're forced to run a specific like lead or something like that, you might as well run this guy as your leader over, Gotenks or whatever, because you have more diversity that way. So that's pretty solid. Just food for thought yet again. Now, Talon with this super clutch translations in the DMs, by the way. Attack and defense. By the way, shout out to man Talon. Check him out. Follow him. Subscribe to him. Link will be down below. He's trying to get to 75K. Make it happen, guys. All of you guys listening, go subscribe to Talon. Amazing YouTuber. Highly underrated. Always has been. Make sure you check him out. Attack and defense plus 15% for each orb obtained. So 15% now. That is actually a really good bonus. It's not like crazy high, but when you factor in the attack stat going up, when you factor in the SA level 15, then you can really see why it's only 15, which is like only, right? That's not like crazy. Like, it's like, DFree, are you saying like only, like seriously 15 garners only, like that's actually really good, right? But we've seen units that get higher, which is why I said only, quote unquote. But trust me, 15 is going to be phenomenal on this unit. When he is attacked, he gets 1 key with a maximum of 5. So between 5 attacks, he gets 1 key. That is shades of Kale and Khalifa LR's passive. Interesting. I mean, it's really good. It's really good, in fact. That's going to be really nice. It's shades of it, but a little bit different. I believe theirs goes up with each attack performed, if I recall correctly. Regardless, kind of shades of that. And being able to bonus key, I don't really know. I don't really think, I'm pretty sure this man doesn't really need it because he has all those good links just in general. He has really good link set. He doesn't necessarily need it, but I mean, we'll take it, right? So there we go with that. And then the last part is when facing a Goku lineage category enemy, change 1 orb type randomly, and for each orb, get a bonus 5% attack and defense. So he gets about 20% when versus Goku lineage. That sounds like a very similar passive. I feel like there's a unit that I'm blanking on because it's kind of late right now. Well, it's like 2:30. That has a similar passive with a category restriction too. Let me know who that is. I feel like you guys probably know, and I just can't think of it right now. But that coupled with this self-sufficiency. You know, the most interesting thing about this is he's not doing... I wonder how they're going to handle globals because he's not doing the bonus key support thing. And for the longest time, everybody kind of thought that he would go ahead and get the key support passive as like that would be a good upgrade for the unit. And then, of course, he would need to get the 15%, but like the key support, not self-sufficiency. It just seems like they completely missed the bar on that. 3 key support would have been a lot better than being, +1, up to 5 just for yourself. But again, I'm curious to see how they're going to handle globals. Maybe global winds up getting this exact same, and in which case he becomes a better unit overall, but worse as a supporter. So we'll see what happens there. Like you could make a legitimate argument that you might, if you have all the Goku Black cards individually, you could make a legitimate argument that you might want to run STR over this one in a lot of cases for that support passive. Even Int can be very viable. I would say that I think that this one's going to be better than Int more often than not, just because of the output and the natural tanking from the onset, which Int doesn't have access to as far as defensively until he starts launching multiple supers. But regardless, like this card's actually kind of really interesting because they didn't go for that. And I think for the longest time, everybody assumed, ever since we heard what EZAs were, that they're going to change that stuff up. So I don't know. That's really interesting to me. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. But altogether, I'm excited for this. I'm excited for the LR trio, I guess, a duo. But you get my point. The new one that's coming out. And I'm excited for hopefully a new free LR. It could be, the thing about this is I don't really know how Global's going to handle that either. That's always the case, man. Global's just kind of weird, the way they handle it. I was going to say this could be tied to the new difficulty event that's coming to JP, but it doesn't appear that that's coming to Global. At least not right now. We have to see the full celebration. But let me know what you guys think. Have an awesome day. I'll catch all of you guys in the next one.